One, I'm speaking neither Scouse nor Geordie today, so there's no one in the room.
Oh, must be Kevin Keegan jokes out, sorry.
Who? Dennis Wise, future. Number two, unlike Matt, I haven't got presents for anyone, so apologies for that. And thirdly, I'm relying on trump cards to get me through this, so do bear with me. It's traditional to start with thanking John and Matt for their speeches. They've set the standard, so I'll do my best to follow. And thanks also on behalf of the bridesmaids and everyone else who got presents, basically. Apologies to the few who didn't. So on to Matthew anyway. Matthew Cliff, born 26th of August 1977?
No. Yeah.
Interestingly or not, just a few days after Elvis died, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
And I'm sure at the time there was some thoughts that, the king is dead, long live the king. The future of rock and roll was going to be Matthew Cliff. Unfortunately, as you know, Matt actually decided to be an accountant instead. To quickly introduce myself, I've known Matt since we were about 9, and we're in different junior schools in McGull. Actually first came across Matt when our two schools played football against each other, and a few minutes into the game, this cheery little fella came trotting up to me and decided to warn me about the left back. Very, very helpful and very kind of him to kind of say, he's known as Psycho, and if you go near him, he'll break your legs. So, I'd like to say Matt was that cheery, helpful fellow, but Matt actually was known as a 9-year-old. I kind of kept my distance for a few years after that, and really only got to know Matt a few years later in sixth form, and kind of got to know the kind of bumbling, soft-bellied mummy's boy that he actually is. I guess there's a few common bonds for us in sixth form. We did a few of the same subjects. We had a common interest in going to match and following Everton, and about the same time I think we were just discovering we could get into pubs and the kind of various hijinks that can bring. As I say, Matt was known as Psycho, but when you get to know him, he's actually just really a big kid. The best example of that is we used to play football, which probably wasn't very cool. We'd still go down to the park when we were 17-year-old playing football, and Matt would turn up, kind of 6 foot, fairly strapping lad by this time. It's Everton shirt, Everton shorts, Everton socks, looking like the mascot from the weekend. Over the next few years we had some great times, generally revolving around beer and football. Not so much involvement with the ladies, I have to say. Surprising really, because as you all know, Matt's got the looks, he's got the charm, he's got the charisma, and he's also got a couple of killer chat-up lines as well. What they are?
No, can you imagine?
The first one, my little prop here, is Matt used to wander up to people and say, what's this, what's this, what's this? And his unsuspecting victim would say, a beer, Matt? He'd say, thanks very much, like a pint of Stella. Just wander up to you later with a beer, just avoid him. His second one is slightly convoluted and kind of reflects slightly on Matt's character, and it came from the time he was working as an accountant at Ethel Austin, and Matt seemed to think it was very cool that he knew all 300 stores or whatever it was and what their financial store number was. So he
don't ask me.
I was going to get the list and test it, but now I've avoided it. So he used to, whenever he could, drop it into conversation. So where are you from? Oh, you're from Widnes. Ah, store number 230.
20 actually.
So from what I know, it wasn't that successful, although it was around that time that he met Victoria. So I don't know whether it was a line he tried on you. One occasion I have to say where there definitely was no chasing of the ladies was Matt's stag do. It's a bit of a sad and sorry tale, I'm afraid to say, to the group of us and many of the lads here today. Went up to Edinburgh, and it's kind of tradition at this point, I think, to give a nod and a wink and reassure the bride that, you know, nothing happened, and Matt was safely tucked up in bed by early evening. I can genuinely say by 9 o'clock Matt was back at home in his bed, tucked up on his own. So God love him, it wasn't the best effort, but he gave it a good go. As you've seen from the start of Matt's speech, normally nothing gets between Matt and having a pint, but it's, I think it's fair to say, one of his passions in life. To Matt, there's always an occasion, always a situation. So if you go for a train with Matt and it's kind of 5 minutes till it's due, in Matt's world, that's time for a quick one. Even when there's no bar staff, I remember we were on holiday once. And we were waiting to get a pint, and there was no one serving. So Matt, and not in any way in a malicious way, but thought he'd be helpful. And before you knew it, he was round behind the bar, casually filling himself a pint. Suffice to say, 2 minutes later, he was getting kicked out of that. My favourite Matt drinking story is actually one where I wasn't there, and as what Matt relayed to me on the cruise to New York that he's already mentioned, and I don't know how widely known it is, but one night Victoria was feeling a bit unwell, so went to bed early. So Matt said he would follow shortly after a quick nightcap. This inevitably turned into like a mini pub crawl at the ship, and if he had half a brain, he might have got away with it, but the problem was he charged all the drinks to the room. So next morning, Victoria woke up, switches on the telly, and there in their itemised bill, detail by detail, 11:15, the captain's bar, 1 pint of Stella. 11:20, he's in the port bar. So I'm kind of maybe pointing Matt out to be a bit of a drunken imbecile, and he's obviously not completely like that.
It's not a bad assessment.
No. He's a qualified accountant, and obviously a man you'd trust with your money at any time. Except that is if you go on holiday. And first day of the holiday, and it was Gary and Paul along, and Matt was naturally excited and raring to get in the pool and have a swim and all that kind of stuff. So this Matt did, jumped in, had a swim around. It was about that point he realised he still had his wallet with his entire spending money and every single traveller's check still in his back pocket.
So the thing is, I did it the other day.
So yeah, that afternoon Matt had 2 sunbeds on the go, one for him, one with each of his traveller's checks. Lay out, bless him. So is Victoria, is she going to change Matt? Well, I think I'm already seeing a few things that she's managed to make him do. Westlife concerts? Not once, but twice, is it? Or is it 3 now? I don't know. Is it just the twice? Just the twice.
No, we haven't.
Dancing lessons? Well, we are looking forward to seeing Twinkle Toes in action later on, so it'd be good. And the third, and perhaps most amazing, the thing that many of us thought would never happen, was Victoria actually made Matt leave home. So, to be fair to Matt, you can understand why he's prepared to make these sacrifices. As Matt's already said, Victoria obviously looks absolutely stunning today, and she's kind, she's generous, she's funny, she's great fun to be with.
Who's that?
She's just one of those people. I mean, I'm useless. I'm quite antisocial, and the first time you meet Victoria, she just instantly makes you feel at ease and very, very comfortable to be with. So yeah, Matt's done very well for himself.